Hey there, welcome to my channel. So we already made one necklace and earrings with the bargain bead box subscription, the glacier glimmer with the December box. So I have one blue lace agate bead left. I know this has some yellow inclusions in it, but still it is a blue lace agate, and I have a a subscriber who commented that blue lace agate is expensive, so that's why there was very less. Sorry about that. My husband was searching for his phone. So the thing is, the blue lace agate, so it is expensive. So I already utilized everything. Just one bead is left. I thought I will make stackable bracelets with it. So we have this amazing faceted 3 millimeter aquamarine, and then this chain, there is something to this chain. It's pretty soft, and I feel that if you wear it in your wrist, it will look really nice and soft, and it's not pokey, and I really like that. And then also we have this clasp with it, so we can make use of that, or else you can use any clasp you have available in your stash. So this is all the strands that I want to use it, and it'll be an icy blue stackable bracelet. I have second thoughts upon using these as well, but if I use that, then this color is much more prominent. It's a dyed Malaysian jade, so this color is very bright and attractive that it will put down all other colors. So I thought I want to keep this in a little bit, this to be the focal and these to be the beads. Maybe I will not use this at all and use just this. So let's see how it turns out to be. So first of all, we will design the center um, bracelet. The first bracelet will be the simple chain and and this pendant bracelet. So for this I need 20 gauge wire to have just so you guys can see this is a little bit open. We will remove this particular link at the end and use the rest of the chain, but you have to measure this exactly once you're done with this. Okay, so first we will wrap this. So I'm using the artistic wire, 20 gauge artistic wire in the stainless steel color. That's what I'm gonna use. I'm just gonna add this. Okay, and I'm gonna make a wrapped loop. I just feel comfortable with the wrap loop only, so I'm making a wrap loop, but if you want you can use a basic loop as well. It's not a big deal. So I just eyeball it, bend, and then reposition it, make a loop. So this is what I have so far. Oops. I'm gonna cut so that I don't have this. About say 3 to 4 inches of wire is good enough. So I really like to use this hole, and I insert the wire and I bent it so that it doesn't go off the spool. I really don't like a big mess, especially that it will poke. So now we have this, and about this, the last chain link, I'm gonna take that off. I'm gonna use my pliers. 2 sets of pliers would be ideal to remove this. A bent nose and my tweezer nose pliers. Now I'm ready to add this to the chain. See this link, if you see closely. Okay, If you see closely, 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one is bigger. Every fourth one you have a slightly bigger link, but if you want to start from that, that's totally up to you as well. Just want to mention it there. But mine, I have this as my last link, so I'm utilizing that. It has a nice big enough loop, so I just add it. I mean, you can also open up the link and then do it. It's not a big deal, or you can add it to the loop. It's totally up to you. Let me just open this up slightly big. Okay, now you close that loop down. Okay, use your fingers to make a wrapped loop. Doesn't have to be a fancy one, just 2 full wraps is more than enough, but I would like it to be a little bit more up than down because it will rest on your hands. I don't want to poke it, don't want it to be pokey. So now what you do is you press that thing against the wire and see if it is not so pokey. Okay, if it is, what you can do is you can take a nail filer and then kind of file it down. Okay, the copper color is actually trying to show up when I file it. Can you see that? Or the color from the emery board is gone, I don't know, but this side is good, so I'm just going to keep this side as my front because I can see the copper color there. I will make another one. About 3 inches of wire again. This time what I'm going to do is I'm going to file it beforehand. Okay, but anyways, if you snip it off, that will be a little bit sharp as well. Go one side, just go, don't go back and forth. That's how you can have a nice one. So here we go, about say here. I just make a loop and then add the chain here and hold that loop. You can use your pliers to do that as well. I'm gonna use my pliers to kind of bend it down. I managed to not cut the wire since I filed that ahead, it won't be that sharp, and it is also on top now. Now I will take the bead and then add it through that. Okay, and so just about say make again a loop similar to the first loop that you have made, and you just need a little bit distance just to make 2 wraps, and make sure the wire is nice and straight. Okay, there we go. So now what you need to do is you need to take into account what clasp you're going to use and how much the clasp is going to take the space. So let me measure my wrist first of all, and you can do so with the chain. So just take the chain and measure. That's about, say, comfortable length, and let's go. So 6, 6.5 to 7 inches is my wrist size. So this is already 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and then this one right here, the clasp, if you're going to use that, clasp it and see how long that is, right? So this one is about, say, 1.5 inches. 1.5 plus 3/4 is already 2 and 2.25. So for a 6.5, if you take, say, 2.5, then there is only 2.25. Then there is only 4.25, right? So to be safe, you can take 2.2 on one side and 2.2 on the other side and do it. Okay. First of all, we will cut this chain. I would say 2.25, just to be on the safer side, you know. So what I'm going to do is this bigger link, I'm going to open that link up. I'm just not going to cut the chain, but this every third link, the fourth link is a bigger one, so I'm going to just open up the link and keep. Okay, and then take this extra chain off. Okay, this came off with that. Okay, this is what we have, and I just take that link, add it here, and add it to one end of the clasp, because we still want a little bit. See, it's very hard to put it inside even though the link is bigger, so I would suggest using a jump ring, because that is the one which will allow us to actually allow the bracelet to be nice and, you know, for some reason this is a little bit difficult to maneuver. So the chain is going over. I don't know why, but that's what it's doing. Finally I could get it proper. So that's done on one side. On the next side, what I am going to do is I'm just going to take this and add it here. Okay, hold that. Now that we have a longer tail, it's easy to wrap. Okay, and as I said, I want to wrap on the top. This time I'm just going to cut it. Okay, and then tuck it. You can also do it one more way. There we go. Tuck it nicely. So that's that simple wrap that we have. and that's gonna be a very simple bracelet, but yet it's gonna be beautiful. That much I can guarantee. I have some jump rings from beadboxbargains.com, so I'm just gonna open that jump ring and I'm gonna add it to this and then to our clasp, so that will add a little bit of space more, right? So that's gonna be like this, and that's gonna come and join here. Okay, but we don't want this to be very tight, so let's see. Okay, so that's exactly the same amount of gap that I have there. I'm just gonna open this up and then take this off, and then I'm gonna close this back because we have our jump ring to connect. So there we go. So I am thinking this is probably 18 gauge or 20 gauge, I'm not so sure, since it's store bought and I didn't make it. I want to do double jump ring. I really like to do that just for safety purposes. So one jump ring, one more to go, and to the other side as well I would do one more jump ring. See that this is how it is in the back, because it's one it's a single bracelet, but I'm gonna do 3 strands of the single bracelet, except for stacking. If you want to stack, I would suggest you can stack and probably use a smaller lobster claw clasp for the clasp part. That way it'll still look dainty, but since this clasp is nice and big, and also we can do the best thing is to hold your jump ring with your pliers, add it here. Okay, forget about the other jump ring, just go over the 2 loops for this jump ring. Make sure you don't take the other jump ring in, and then close it. Go back and forth, and there you have a complete closure, and that feels much more secure to me than the previous part. But you can also make your own S-link. I have talked about this in various videos of mine, and you can add it to this as well. So that's about same. You can also make your own jump ring. So since I have it in the same metal, I used it. So that's one. So now we are done with the chain part. Now we will do the beaded part. Okay, so I want to do a dainty one. So if I'm going to go with the dainty one, then I have to do this one and this one. So I have to take some bead stringing wire. I'm going to use soft flex medium in this stainless steel color. Let's see what, stainless steel nylon coated bead stringing wire. I don't want to cut it. I always like to work with the spool. That way there is absolutely no wastage in any form. First I will do the gemstone, and then we'll come back to the crystal. So let's cut the strand off. I'm gonna save some for, but you can also use this spacer beads, which is a little bit too starburst spacer bead, but this is a little bit bigger size than the crystal, but it looks nice. So let's see if we can use some of that. It all depends on how you want the look to be. Very dainty, keep it simple, not even the spacer. If you want the finish to be completely stainless steel, you can go for that. It still fits through the medium soft flex bead stringing wire, so that's a good thing. So let's see how it looks. I will string some, and this is gonna be without any pendant per se, right, or the centrifugal like that. So this is gonna be a plain strand with some, with a pattern of these spacers and this gemstone beads. So kind of like it. It's nice. I will just string this and then come back and show you guys what I got. So here I have my strands. Actually, I have strung both together. So this is the pattern I followed. Four of the gemstone and one of the starburst spacer bead, and in here I chose a seed bead in between the bicones. I know I wanted to have a lighter color. I did try the lighter color, it didn't give me that effect, so I chose this color. This is called a cornflower blue. This is called cornflower blue. So this is the color I'm using. I chose to use a little bit brighter color, a stronger blue lace agate color, I would say, but you can also choose a lighter color, that's totally up to you. And I have some size 2 crimps here, which I'm going to use in this project. So I'm just going to dump a couple of them. This is too much, but let it be right for now. So what I want to do is I want to attach, you can attach it directly to this loop of the bracelet, but I want to attach to both the jump rings. That way if you want in the future you can take it off. So I'm just going to add a crimp tube, okay, and I'm gonna come and go through the jump ring and then back through my crimp. You can also use a crimp cover on top of this. You can use a crimp bead if you want. So see this, I want a little bit of a loop, so the loop is not very small, but I like this kind of finish, so I'm going forward for that. So I'm just going to use my crimping pliers. There is 2 divots, one closer to the handle, one away from the handle. The one closer to the handle is in the shape of a cashew nut, if you can notice. So I'm going to go horizontally with that, align that crimp tube in the second divot just closer to the handle, and just give it a squish. So that will squish this way. Make sure you give it a nice squish, and then go with the vertical one and then squish that down. So you can go around the tube and then check for that. So now it's nice and secure. I don't want to cut off the excess because I think it will go through, but I'm not so sure. Let's just see whether it goes through. Oh, it doesn't, so we have to cut it off. So I'm just going to cut it as close to the crimp bead as possible. Okay, and now push all the beads down. So let me just open this bracelet up. Okay, that's that, and this is gonna be one strand. So that strand is gonna go all the way from here to this. Okay, so I don't need this much, as you guys can see. I just need only this much, is more than enough for this. Actually speaking, you can take off one more. So here we go. Just gonna cut about, say, an inch to inch and a half. You can leave. So take the seed bead, because I ended with the seed bead the other side. Take one of the crumb tube, go through the jump ring, both the jump rings, and I take my pliers. Oh, there's already a seed bead, so I don't need it. Go through both the jump rings. You can use your pliers if your bead stringing wire is shorter, and just come back through the crumb tube and pull the tail. So when you do this, you just need to make sure that's a slightly bigger than that, which I really wanted. So now if you're satisfied with the loop, so I'm good with the loop here, I'm going to go ahead and use my crimping pliers and squish that, and then go with the first divot and squish it vertically. It might come in the way, just be patient, and then you can snip off this excess wire. There we go. Now 2 strands are done. I have one more strand which I will attach on the other side. So here we go. You don't need this much beads. I can save it for another project. Now take again a crumb tube, and this time I'm going to the other side of the jump ring. So come back through it, right, and just pull that down. So make sure your wire is not crisscrossed inside, and then go ahead and crimp. See this? I will just go with the second divot and squish that, and then go with the first divot perpendicularly and squish that as well. And you can snip off the excess wire. I'm sure this will not go through the gemstone, right? Just move all the beads down. Okay. There we go. Making sure it's really big, as you guys can see. I don't need this much, so this much is good enough, is what I feel. Maybe this much is a little bit short, right? So one side there will be 2, the other side there will be 4, actually 3. So I'm just gonna shift this and see with the beaded section how long it should be. Yeah, it should be at least 3, if not 4. Yeah, that's okay with me. So if you put 3, then you can do it one more time, but I'm okay with it. So I'm just gonna snip off the wire just a bit here, so that way the wastage of wire for me is very less. And then again, let me see how long it comes, and I'm good with that. Actually 1 bead short will be good. 3 beads on one side and 2 beads on the other side. Okay, so here we go. making sure. If not also it's okay, you can take off the jump ring and add it, that's fine as well. Come back through the crimp tube and pull the tail end with your pliers. That'll be much more easier. Make sure you keep it in a U format, so that it's nice and subtle, so, and it's not very rigid and soft. So now go ahead and crimp. Okay, and then vertically as well. Now you can snip off this excess bead wire, just pull and cut. Okay, now our bracelet is said and done, and I really like the way this turned out to be. I wanted to do a stackable bracelet, but as I said, if you don't want to use this clasp, you can do that. I individually have a smaller clasp and do that, but I really like this, as you guys can see. So this chain can come either side of the beaded portion, or it can come in the center, but I wanted it to come in the center. I need a bracelet helper tool to actually put this on, I guess. Let me see if I can do it or I can't. So you can simply use a bobby pin and then do it as well, but I really want to show you guys by wearing this. Okay, I measured my wrist properly, and trust me guys, it is fitting me, but it is just, one of those things wherein if you have a helper around. There we go. How cool is the bracelet? I think it has come out really well. I really like the blue lace agate and the aquamarine and the bicone as well with the seed beads. It kind of looks really pretty, and the clasp as well. It's exactly my size. It's not very big. It's not loose, and I like to wear snug. And it doesn't hurt. The chain is very smooth. I'm really liking it. I hope you guys like this tutorial. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos couple of times a week. Thanks so much for watching. This is Aishu signing off. See you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye bye.